welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today I go over a story titled, I, a 25-year-old male, can't stop hating on my ex who's trying to be in my life again. And a shout out to Robert for sending in this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, just like the title says, 25, and as usually happens, his ex is now back in his life and is making him crazy. And why? Well, you see, when they were together the last couple of years of high school, she wanted to remain pure, if you will, no loving, and the guy was okay with that. He was patient with her. Well, they break up before college, and guess what? She's off getting on. And it was absolutely just couldn't believe it. All those years, he was patient with her because she wanted to wait for the perfect time. And she's throwing it away. And the first loser she comes across as she goes off to college. And he's done. Well, guess who's back years later wanting to get back with him now that she's done with the carousel and all that? And he's like, nope, not happening. And that'll be a funny one to go over here, guys. Really hitting home about the old making rules for betas and breaking rules for alphas right here, and how frankly I wouldn't be entirely buying the whole thing about, I'm pure, I want to remain pure all those years, because the gals like to love as much as you do, and frankly, she had every right to not want to hit the sack with him. I'll be honest here, but if he didn't like that, he had every right to break up with her. So if you're in a situation like that and you're incompatible in the bedroom, okay, break up. That's it, no hard feelings. But don't be too pissed if you yourself chose to wait around like a monk forever and then, but anyhow, that'd be a funny one to go over here. And of course, guess what? They always come back. They'll always come back to that guy who they see as the nice guy when they're done, the hose phase, and here you go. He says, my ex, a 25-year-old female, and I were together for just under 3 years, from ages 16 through 18. It was about 2 months into our relationship, and she let me know that she was a virgin, and she wasn't waiting for marriage, but she wanted to be special. Okay, that's her right, and if he doesn't like it, it's his right to leave, but he chooses to stay. Okay. Problem is when you find out that this whole special thing was a bunch of nonsense. I had no problem with this. She would talk about how she wanted her first time, and she's always changing parts about that. During this time, she loved making out, but always left me high and dry. Again, dude, you made the choice. You could have ended it with her, but you chose to stay with her. Obviously, you're incompatible, but you stayed. In the 1-year anniversary, still not right yet. 2-year anniversary, still not yet. She wanted to make it perfect. And now it's time to leave for college. Nope. She says, if we do long distance, it'll end badly, so let's split up now. But don't worry, because I only want to have SCX with you. I'm going there to get my degree, and as you know, I can control myself, she said. I haven't waited for the right moment all this time to throw it all away. Throw it all away now. Those were her words. Okay, for 3 years, this guy hasn't gotten any, and he went at a heartbeat. And now she doesn't want to do a long distance relationship, which is actually smart, and she's breaking it off with him. Imagine that, guys. You're a young buck, 16 years old, 17, 18, with the girl. You haven't gotten any, but it was his choice. And now she's off to school, says, don't worry. I haven't given it away now before. I'm not going to give it away now. Uh-huh. Well, I'm sure you can guess that not even a month into her being away at school, she asked me to come visit her. Yep, I threw it away in every sense of the words. Seen the guy, big downgrade. No alcohol, no coercion, didn't even know that guy that well. They were all partying. This guy spent the night hitting on her, so she went back to his dorm room. Apparently, the perfect moment with this guy, spasming on top of her, awkwardly for 5 minutes, next to his dirty boxers with people being loud in the hallway. And there you go, so much for the perfect time. Make rules for betas, break rules for alphas. That's what we had going on here. I would be pissed. And this guy is obviously pissed, and a lot of you would be pissed. But, at the end of the day, he could have ended it any time, but still. I was pissed. No kidding. She regretted it, but just went with it in the heat of the moment. This girl wasted 3 years of my life, frustrating me beyond belief. Years I'll never get back just to literally throw away something she prized so highly. I get that we were separated. I get that she can do whatever she wants, but I also know I'm allowed to feel any way I want about this. I don't blame the guy. But again, dude, I'm willing to bet you if he would have broken up with her or said, you know what, you're a great girl, having a good time, but just we're incompatible in that department. I really want to, and broke up with her, I bet you probably it would have been a different result. Seriously. But this doesn't surprise me at all. I gave her a look of absolute disgust and managed to leave without blowing up at her. I didn't block her, read every message, but never once responded. Well, as is right. But wait to see how this goes. The next month, I was spammed with apologies and how much she regrets her stupidity. I didn't respond, just thinking about saying anything to her made me sick. I boxed everything she gave me, every photo, anything that even reminded me of her, and threw it in the attic. Okay, he's done with her, as is his right. It was her right not to, if she didn't want to sleep with him, she didn't have to sleep with him. I mean, I'll be honest here. But it's also his right that he doesn't have to have anything to do with her at this point. Actually, she robbed me of more than 3 years because it took a while to get close to trust a woman after that. This, of course, got around through our friends and everybody else, saying things like, you hear Sarah finally lost her V card. Wow, she finally stopped torturing. Nope, some random guy at college. Everybody knew thanks to her girlfriends. Yeah, this guy's feeling like a complete bonehead around different friends and all. I moved on, but we'll never be over it. She literally played games with me for 3 years when it should have been the most carefree time in my school years. On to the problems, because guess who's back and wants to act like nothing ever happened. I hadn't thought about her in a while, and she just walks in the bar with one of my female friends. See, they always come back. Venom from the past instantly hit me like a truck. Not just because of her BS, but all the jokes at my expense about how random college losers thanked me for the 3 years of me getting things ready and made it perfect for him. Anybody that's saying that stuff to this guy should cut him off, have nothing to do with him. Well, she stupidly walked up to me and asked for a hug from an old friend. Like, nope, no thanks. I walked past her and to the bar and grabbed another drink. This awkward BS lasted about a month. It's so funny how important closure is to the person who wronged you. Yeah, you see, notice she's chasing after him now. Now that he blocked her, wants nothing to do with her, and even then she comes up to him, she probably thought it'd be a walk in the park. I can get this guy back. Nope, not interested. Totally just, walk right past her with her arms open for big hugs, like, get those slutty hands off me. She finally ambushed me outside my apartment one day and said she'd keep showing up until I talked to her. Well, I can get a restraining order, sweetheart. I gave in, and she didn't say one word she hadn't texted 50 times over. She texted this dude 50 times? This chick is mental. When she was done, she told me to say anything, yell at her, just quit ignoring her. See, they can't take the silence. They want the drama. But I watch what you say, she could use it against you. I let her have it. I told her exactly what I thought about her and how glad I am that her stupid decision is the worst mistake she ever made and still haunts her. I let her know it was her choice to sleep with or not sleep with whoever she wanted, but I also have the right to feel any way I wanted about it. I told her to move on and find new friends because I'll never forgive her, and her repeated attempts to forgive her was just making it awkward for everybody around me. So I don't blame this guy for being pissed initially, but eventually it's like, dude, get over it. Okay, what's done is done. She has power over you if you're walking around still pissed off about things. The best thing you could have reached a point being of indifferent. And like, okay, whatever. Nice to hear from you. Goodbye. That would have really made her nuts. But carrying around this anger, guess what, dude? You're not the first guy this happened to. Okay, plenty of guys have been in the rules for, breaking rules for alphas, making rules for betas. I knew this dude in high school, kind of like this. Had this girlfriend. She was kind of nerdy in a way, but cute. And they were together for years, and you know how high school kids gossip. Same thing, nothing. They break up, and all of a sudden, this cute little librarian-looking thing, who actually was really good-looking once she let her hair down, and all of a sudden it was getting with some of the biggest losers in the school, the bad boy types. Oh, can you imagine how bad he felt right here? Because they treated her like dirt, and then that turned her on. Now for the best part of the story. Now listen to this, guys. She let me know that she'd be willing to have you-know-what with me as many times as it took to forgive her. Well, that goes to show you that's become transactional. If she's at that point, clearly has been out of the hook. The pair bonding is gone. Even if I don't want her back, that's right. If it were up to her, we get back together. Call me an idiot because I don't know if I'd asked to hurt her or myself, but I asked how many others have there been since her one-nighter. She didn't like that question at all. I think after her supposed one-nighter, I don't know, guys. I'm not quite buying that for 3 years in high school that she wasn't getting any. Or I mean, I think she was. Seriously. And then that's why she's like, nope, we got to break up before she goes off to school. I'll admit there was a sadistic side of me that wanted to do her. Either make it the best she ever had or show her all the love and emotion other guys never did, and then tell her it was a parting gift, to let her know exactly what she threw away, or just coldly use her until I got tired of loathing her and as she wouldn't go away. I ended up telling her that, and she made me sick. I don't know. There's a part of me that was thinking, you know what? After 3 years of probably dates and gifts and roses and shit, because he was doing that, might as well have a little fun, then toss her to the side of the road. But then all of a sudden, I'm pregnant. For all you know, she could be pregnant now, and he's the perfect guy because this is going to be the perfect father to, maybe that's a sense of urgency. She begged me not to throw it all away over 5 minutes of the worst moments of her life. She figured enough, I'm sorry SCX would make me forget the past. I figure I'd lose no matter what because she's not going away, and eventually her being sad will win our friends over to her side saying I need to get over it. I forgive her for torturing me for 3 years. I use her for SCX, and when I don't take her back, she gets to play the victim. Or I take her back and enjoy their sloppy 17ths. I've been with other women, and those women weren't virgins, obviously, but when it comes to Sarah, it bugs me. I'm honestly at a loss at this point. Any perspective would be helpful, and now he goes on to a whole bunch more details here, but anyhow, it's hilarious. I'll say hilarious, but just twisted. But this happens a lot to guys, but they always come back. And I'm convinced there's got to be a reason why after this time, all of a sudden, she wants him back so badly. That's why the part of me thinks that she's pregnant, and it's really quick. Wants to sleep with him and be like, oh, it's your kid. Now, some more information here. He says, holy cow. I wrote on my lunch break to get it out of my head and just got a million notifications. I'm going to address some things here because I'm overwhelmed. Number one, no, she wasn't lying about being a virgin. We're from a small town, and trust me, I would have found out. Come on, dude. That's your ego coming into the mix. She very well could have been cheating on you for all you knew. 2, she went to college a virgin, and no, I didn't see her lying about the 15 other guys. I think if she was lying, she would have picked a smaller number. Well, maybe I missed something with 15 other guys, but okay, I'll just take his word for it. Yeah, she slept with 15 other dudes, and by the way, we all know darn well, whatever number you're getting, multiply times 3. But again, in the 2020s, you can throw some bonus numbers in there too. 3, I'm not some purity freak. She's the one who put such a high value on it. She's the one that gave it all up to that buildup, and she's the one who said, threw it away, and to this day, wish it was me. Number 4, it doesn't have to be virginity. It could be dancing. If a man tells his girlfriend who loves to dance that he'll take her dancing and keeps making reason after reason to put it off for 3 years and then finds out he took another woman dancing, instead she's going to be pissed. 5, I am not SLUT shaming her. I've been with other women. I've been with more than 16 guys. I'm not hung up. 6, as some of you guessed, she was my first love. Really? I never would have guessed that. Of course she was the first love. He's behaving like she's the first love. I invested a lot into the relationship. You don't just forget because it's 7 years later. She destroyed a lot in me, and that's why it's all waste. She threw away a lot more than her V card. So is this 7 years after they broke up or 7 years after they started? Regardless, a lot of time has passed. 7, when she said she wanted to split up, it was because after all her back and forth SCX, and it never happened, she was worried I would be the one who would cheat, and she didn't want it to end that way. Oh, she broke up with him before college saying that he's going to cheat on her? That's rich. She was just as sick as I was about her, and she screwed that idiot. That's why she wanted to confess immediately. 8. I know we weren't together, but she told me she was going to stay true to me and lied. Well, they weren't together in school. I mean, they broke up, and that was her idea. Okay, that's nice and all, but still, the fact that 3 years, you all get it. He has a right to have an issue with that. But 7 years later, I think it's time for him to let this shit go. But it's funny because they always come back. Number 9. In her closure, she said the exact same thing as when it happened. She was away from home for the first time, didn't know anybody, lonely, got too friendly with the first guy who was nice to her, and let it go way too far. So no, her story hasn't changed, but she's the one telling it so far for whatever it's worth. Come on here. 10. No, I have not been sitting around being a monk, and it was a 2-year relationship during this time, and I've been in other shorter relationships. 11. I haven't been focused on hating her all these years. In fact, after getting over the BS and moving on, I hardly thought about her at all. It's her popping back like that, like we were buddies, that really pissed me off. Okay, it awakened something that's been lying dormant for a number of years. But dude, get over it. 12. My friends aren't trying to force anything. They are just as they've always been, her friend too. From their point of view, it's just any other night at the bar. 13. Yes, I will update at some point, but there's nothing I can say right now, as there's nothing to update. Thanks for all your advice. I do read it all, and will continue to do so. Even the unhinged women PMing me that she didn't owe me anything in virginity is a patriarchal idea. And all the other stuff I never said. She owed me the truth. She lied. She's upset I wasn't her first, so if you think I'm so entitled, clearly she doesn't. Now, I'm going to read some more comments here, but overwhelmingly in the comment section is saying, okay, dude, we get why you're bothered by that, but it's time to get over it. But that'd be a pretty funny one, guys. Again, really making the point. As I said in the beginning, make rules for betas, break rules for alphas. They'll be with a guy for a long time, and he'll be the one that they'll date, and da-da-da-da, and he, and they were young in high school, don't get me wrong, and it's probably a good thing, honestly, they weren't hooking up, because last thing, these teenage pregnancies and shit like that, and they're young, they're kids, but then again, I was that age, and I want to get it left and right. But putting that aside, probably the version of it is if they were older, would be just her being very vanilla with him, or hardly ever, and then finding out that she's off with Chad and Tyrone and hooking up 3 times a day with them and giving them anything you can use your imagination on. That'd be the closest thing in comparison to this. Or just flat out, yeah, she made you wait, and then she's hooking up everybody left and right, like that dude in high school I mentioned. He has a right to be bothered by this whole thing. And but still, after all these years, it's funny how when they had their fun riding the carousel, because that's what she's doing, now she wants to go back to the good man. No, not going to be, she could have had this guy, and a good guy, I mean, he's obviously holding a grudge, but still. But it's amazing how they always come back. They'll be ready to come back after, they've had their fun, and they want to settle for you. Nope, not happening. Now, a few comments. One guy says here, time to gray rock her. Be as uninterested as possible, and you have no choice. However, ignoring is the best call. She's also doing this because she knows that she can get a rise out of you. It's not worth it. If your friends can't observe and respect how absurd the situation is, then you need new friends. And one more, this guy says, dude, seriously, get a therapist. You're clearly hurt a lot deeper than you're letting on. Next, block her on everything already. None of this is healthy for you. Finally, tell your friend and her that while you appreciate that you're friends with both, that while she is correct, she did not owe you anything since you were technically broken up, that you cannot help but feel betrayed when she asked you to continue waiting for her. That from her actions is stringing you along for years, too much to deal with. While you may love Dave forgive her, you may not forget and are no longer comfortable being around her, and it was too much of your friends to have separate events, no hard feelings, and you can go for your separate ways. But seriously, block the duck out of her and ignore her going forward and getting some therapy. Well, he said in the comment section that she just keeps showing up and she won't leave him alone. She's like 5 minutes away. Well, she won't leave you alone, then get a restraining order. Hire a lawyer. Do something. But this is not healthy and working. But anyhow, yeah, overwhelmingly thinking, like I said, about the rules for betas and the breaking rules for alphas, and also how they'll have their fun and then come back to you. And no chance. But this guy can get over it, and he can move on, and he's all the wiser. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And if you like the video, share it with your friends and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.